Well, the titles and the numbers legitimise their greatness, don't they? But it is the visual memory that we take from their clashes that has ultimately made everyone gravitate towards the Rod Laver Arena tonight to witness another captivating contest between Djokovic and Nadal. It'll be the 6-time Australian Open champion to begin. See Rafa chip a forehand return. That is an indicator perhaps that he is feeling a few nerves out there. He has shifted his positioning on the second serve considerably from 2012, closer to the baseline.
Let's for service.
But at 141 Ks on that second serve on the second point, you wouldn't have thought he would be rushed by that. Serve, but the first testing rally, and Novak comes out on top of that as well.
Is there anybody that imbalances Nadal more than Novak?
No. He's the only player that Rafa has literally had to change his game to play against. And we saw it a few years ago when he started serving wide on the outside to try and counter the backhand return.
Yeah, to make Nadal look unbalanced, you need to hit the ball on a dime from the other end, and he's a genius at it, Djokovic.
There's the win predictor, heavily in favour of Novak.
It's closer than that, surely.
Well, the stats would probably say not. 7 straight wins on this surface, 14
Rafael
straight
Nadal.
sets. So there is a big argument to say that it is overwhelmingly in favour of Novak at the start, but that's outside of the lines. Nadal certainly has an opportunity here to make a difference between them.
Game plan is always the same for Novak.
Love 15.
He knows the formula, Fitzy. He will pummel that Nadal forehand, knowing that if he puts it under pressure, he'll drop it shorter and shorter. I think he is the one guy who has got the antidote to that Rafa forehand cross court, and that's what makes the matchup a difficult one.
I also think it's his forehand line, to be honest. I think we talk a lot about diffusing the the forehand of Rafa. But this shot, for me, has far more variety than people give him credit for. He can hook it cross court. He goes almost inside out down the line. And he's incredibly accurate. I was looking at Tsitsipas's forehand down the line against Rafa from the semi-final. He's not even close to where Novak is in terms of accuracy to the line. Good pace, decent depth.
Let's for service.
And that's his second best ground stroke.
Yeah.
He's got such a lovely shape to it, hasn't he?
I did think I noticed from the crowd when they both walked in, I thought I noticed more support for Rafa here.
Oh, you're spot on. It was quite frosty, in fact, for Novak.
Which is sort of bizarre, I think. But certainly if the crowd's to get involved, there might be a bit more support, I think, for this man.
Let's for service.
Well, you can see the reaction from the crowd again, can't you? Net court ace. They didn't want it to be a net court.
Delivery as well from Nadal, and it came back on his toes, and well, he's not got a lot on his forehand. I think what is probably the biggest concern right now.
Yeah, and especially at one down the line. For me, that's always a barometer of Rafa's confidence. When he's dialing that one in early, Mark, watch out. But, in that previous rally, both forehands down the line were pretty tame.
By our data, this is the first break point in the tournament Rafa's faced to the deuce side.
Djokovic.
It's the first time he's been broken since late on in the third set against James Duckworth, and it comes right out of the starting blocks from Novak.
Djokovic leads by 2
He's
games.
off balance here, isn't he, early, as Robbie said. He's feeling the pressure, a little bit nervy. He's not timing the ball like he normally does, and that's a strange miss on that forehand. He hasn't put together a string of good points yet, Rafa, whereas Djokovic has started on the boil.
Djokovic at times you feel gains a lot of strength when the crowd are against him, and he's had to deal with that in the majority of his career, to be fair, particularly some famous nights in New York when he's been taken on Federer there. It's been pretty hostile. So nervous right now, isn't he?
It is. It's unbelievable. So much because of the gun on the other side of the court. That's why matchups, so we know we've all played, is, for me, it's the most important thing.
It's Coach Carlos Moya, physical trainer, just to the side of him, physio. Carlos knows better than anyone else. That's why the player's name ultimately goes on the trophy, because you've got to be the one out there getting it done.
I always like to say you can have the best game plan in the world. But to go out there and execute it, as you know, it's a different story altogether.
Game Djokovic.
That is clinical from the world number one. Class.
Djokovic leads by 3 games to none.
So Nadal off the back of being broken for just the 3rd time in the tournament. 3-love down already in this opening set. And the new improved serve not working so well at the start here. Well, he can sense fear, can't he? He's not having to do too much. That passing shot was not particularly testing by his standards, but he just can feel that Rafa is just so nervous to get on the board here. Didn't have to be great. The second serve speed up from their epic final in 2012, where the Spaniard was dropping them in at 139 Ks. So far in this tournament, with the change in motion, he's been putting them in at 157 kilometers an hour, up 18 Ks.
Let's for service.
He's up 9 on his first serve as well, which has had significantly the most difference, because he's winning 81% of the points there against the career average on hard of 72.
And that's just for the tournament, right?
Yeah, for this tournament here, and the second serve, even though, as I say, the narrative around Melbourne Park has been about the speed on the second serve, the stats haven't really improved. He's up 1% of second serve points won against his career average on hard.
Finally able to get onto the front foot with a meaningful serve. Cutting off the angle beautifully there. Moving on the diagonal rather than lateral.
Well, it's not just hard for Nadal to get the ball past Djokovic, it's hard for everyone on the planet to get it past him. We know his defensive skills. It's better probably than anyone we've ever seen. Even the great Rafa Nadal is having trouble putting the ball away here early. This, for me, is such an important point. If he goes down 4-love, it's hard to see Rafa winning the first set from there.
Just get the sense of pace out there between players, and just to give you a little bit of meat on the bone with how well Novak's playing. He came in here with a forehand speed of 123 Ks on average. He's ripping it out of the blocks here at 142, which is obviously taking away some of Nadal's time and perhaps contributing to the missed time shots we've seen from the Spaniard.
I think that's what the great players do. They adjust to who's on the other side of the net. Okay. Well, the numbers are relevant to who's on the other side. It's a great serve. It's been working well against players outside the top 10, but now against Djokovic, who's one of the best returners the sport has ever seen, it takes on a whole different dimension.
serve under siege again, but he's come through it.
Djokovic leads by 3 games to 1.
Type of reaction that will expel a few nerves.
I'm always interested in that scenario when you're about to go up a double break, Fitzy. Goes up a double break, the set's pretty much done and dusted, isn't he? But he's managed to hang on to a serve here. He probably feels with one break he's still in it.
It's like a 2-game swing,
isn't it? For me, it's almost like a set swing because the set's almost over. Yeah, now, I think that's where I see the most comebacks week to week. A player's on the brink of going up a double break. He knows he's going to wrap up the set, but suddenly the guy hangs on, gets the break back, you're on serve again.
To get back into this set, Nadal needs to find his timing, doesn't he? And he's got to hope that he can get his racket on the ball here more often, but he certainly has to find his timing and his rhythm so he can match up against Djokovic. Yeah, he's Rafa off balance like I've never seen.
Drilling backhand serves.
Djokovic leads by 4 games
right
to 1.
on Djokovic's racket already, 4-1. Picture perfect setting, although the scoreboard certainly not looking picture perfect for Nadal right now. Any downsides having 2 days off after the semi?
I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought the rest. Who knows? Maybe they don't like it that way. Maybe they just want the 1 day to recover and be ready to go straight away. But probably interrupts their preparation a little bit in terms of when they practice.
I guess the rhythm of playing every second day suddenly changes at the tail end of the tournament.
15 all.
You have to look at all the nuances, don't you?
You wouldn't think all of that tennis under their belt, those 6 matches here over 5 sets, that an extra day would do any harm. You'd think it'd actually make them just fresher, I would have thought.
Yep. They'll just checking the serve clock there. That's what he's looking up. There you go. There's
13-2
combination.
Mr. Djokovic is challenging the ball on the service line. The ball scored in.
Historically, certainly over the last 10 years, it hasn't made a difference who's played which semi. It's been a split 5-5.
We take it for granted from him, don't we? But wow, that's good. That backhand, he steps in and hits it within a metre, sometimes half a metre of that line consistently. And it definitely has Rafael on the back step. Back foot, off balance.
I
think if he played that point 10 times, Novak, after he got the lob over there, he'd win 7. I mean, I thought he'd make this volley. I thought Rafa had to lob that ball, and that would normally be a volley that Novak would handle.
Do you think the other 9 times they played the point, he would play the lob volley? Would he go right through him? I thought he went a little light on him there, Fitzy.
Well, at least by winning 2 games here, Nadal might have a chance to settle down before this first set's over. He's got a little bit of a bite going now, into his teeth into it slightly.
That wasn't part of the plan when they came out.
And this is an unbelievable shot from Rafa to get himself in a good position. The way they play chess with one another, I'll put you in a tough position. No, I'll put you in a tougher position right back. That's what makes it so impressive and frustrating if you're a Rafa fan.
This is mesmerising from Djokovic. Can't take your eyes off him. And he is just pulling Nadal all over the court at will.
Last time you saw
40 love.
No, I've never seen that.
You never watched me play.
I meant with Rafa, Mark. I saw you do it a couple of times, but but he had an air swing there that I haven't seen Rafa Nadal do before.
Thank you.
And you can't blame that on the court surface, surely. Maybe just had a bit more pace on the Djokovic ground stroke than he thought.
Game, Djokovic.
That is such 5-2.
Djokovic leads by 5 games to 2.
One of the best sporting areas in the world. The MCG, big bash on there tonight, I believe. That's when Heat are in town. We've got the Rugby League and Rugby Union and soccer just across the road at AAMI Park. It's special. Look at this. This is Nadal when he's serving with new balls and the drop-off when he serves with the used ones, and well, that's quite a significant amount. So he'll be thankful for the new balls in his hand to try and keep himself competitive in this opening set, which has been dominated by Djokovic's brilliance.
Yeah, I think the first time we've really seen Nadal dominate a point. He this time gets Djokovic on the run. Wonderful angle on that forehand, and he knocks the backhand off. Will that lift his well-being?
Let's for service.
Captivating rallies we love to see between these two.
Yes, been able to boss that point for once, but I think Novak will be disappointed this backhand wasn't a little bit more accurate. He holds himself to the highest of levels. Just put him in a tough position.
Early stages of this opening set, lost about 7 kilometers an hour on his forehand compared to the rest of the tournament. Looks as though the timing's coming back a little bit. Some of the sting taken out of it, of course, because of how big Novak came out striking the ball.
The ability of Djokovic to improvise on that big serve.
Djokovic leads by 5 games to 3.
That shows you how devastatingly good Nadal is from his backhand corner. That's why you don't want to play him too much to that side. He sees the angle so much better. Nothing wrong with this return. Good depth. Nadal's good meter behind the baseline, but from his backhand corner, he is lethal.
That forehand sometimes for me almost defies physics. Now, I was no expert in physics, but with his weight going backwards, off balance, how does he hit that with the forward speed he does for the winner? It's quite astonishing.
Recently would have given Djokovic a bit of trouble, and go hard was Bautista good. Ball stays low, Fitzy. Earlier on in the tournament, it was Daniel Medvedev. Ball stays low with a flat strike or use of the slice. I think it's going to be a key shot for Rafa tonight.
15 all.
Well, how important is that miss going to be here in terms of the result of this first set? Because he does have his teeth into this match all of a sudden in the last 2 games.
Just sense this is going to be a tough hold for Novak, don't you?
Gee, love 30 there would have been really interesting.
So long, doesn't it? You just have to almost eventually guess one way or the other, and Nadal certainly didn't see that one coming. He handled that well. There's a fair bit of wind around all of a sudden as well. As much as everyone has focused on this man's serve throughout the tournament, Novak has ramped up his second serve from their final back in 2012 by about 7 miles an hour as well.
Australian to think of 2012. 5 hours, 50 minutes they played in a final here. That type of tennis.
Well, such has been the slight resurgence from Rafa towards the end of this opening set that we can reminisce a little bit, because for a large swathe of it, Novak just too good. Just the 1 point against the serve that Nadal was able to extract from Djokovic. He was virtually flawless. 6-3. That is a beautiful, beautiful sunset. Perfect weather as well. We've had a couple of very hot days here in the second week, but apart from that, the weather has certainly played ball. It's been a hot summer in Australia, around the country. Novak was at the beach yesterday.
Second sets.
Rafa was down at one of his favourite restaurants, I think on Friday night in St Kilda. He always takes traditionally a trip down there. I think it's to the Smokehouse.
Stokehouse.
Stokehouse. There you go. That's why I said thought.
I mean, he's on a full stretch, isn't he? And you think most people's mentality are thinking, just get this one back, please. He does something incredibly positive with it. That extra goose step at the end there allowed him the extra speed to get to the ball, and the balance when you do that is, well, quite exceptional. Is he the most flexible body you've ever seen in the men's game?
For me, yes.
Stretches more than anyone else you've ever seen?
I remember the first time I saw him early on in his career, he was 16. I want to say it was a tour event in Valencia. He was stretching on one of the physio beds for a good half an hour. Couldn't believe it. The feeling in the physio room was, who's this young kid taking up one of the beds, stretching for half an hour? Why don't you go outside and stretch? But it was Djokovic in his early days. It felt like he belonged.
Nets for service.
Magnificent. And there are very few players that can hit a clean winner from that part of the court against Nadal. And the problem for Nadal, as you can see there, he's worried about the down-the-line backhand as well that's going to come at pace. Not too many people can hit that. So he's got options, unbelievably, when you think you've got him in trouble.
(40-30). First game, second set.
First set, so often, even in these great rivalries, so crucial to predicting the outcome of which way the match is going to go. And you look at Novak's record in majors, and he's won 224 matches when he's won the opening set and lost a mere 5. But if you are a Spanish fan and you want to find some good news, 3 of those losses when he's won the opening set have come in finals of majors. 2 against Stan Wawrinka, Roland Garros 2015, and in New York in 2016. As we see, the win predictor been a bit harsh on Nadal's chances here. He's certainly come from back from tougher situations than this before, and of course against Nadal as well, the other time at Roland Garros in 2014.
Of course, that win predictor also is not us. That's not our prediction. That's straight out of, it's from the algorithms that they spit out of the computer. Not sure as mere humans we always agree with what gets spit out of that computer, but
it's had some good predictions though. Pliskova beating Serena. Not too many of us had that one.
Yep.
It's the depth that he gets on his ground strokes that is so incredible, so suffocating. Not sure I've seen a player keep better length of both wings consistently like Djokovic.
And that's not a good sign either. Rafa there leaning to his right side. He was guessing on that first serve. I never like to see that. That's a sign that he's really unsettled against Djokovic's delivery.
Game, Djokovic.
And that goes back to the point that Robbie was saying about that serve being a little bit, I think, unspoken about rather than underrated by the people in the sport. The angle that he gets, there's Rafa's girlfriend, Maria. Carlos Costa, a great player in his own right as well, looking after Nadal's business affairs, but he gets such good cut on that juice serve without too much pace that it forces Nadal to stand even a little bit wider. Full house, but it's Novak holding all the cards at the moment.
It's just the 6th return. Djokovic hasn't been able to get in play.
Reflex, put his racket to it. Let's see what sort of elevation this backhand gets on the pass. He hit it hard. I thought that might have been going long. It might have been close, but certainly snatched at the volley, didn't he?
Roseburn in the third row there. Full actress.
This out of the middle either, Nadal.
That's the shot that Novak's going to give him. He's going to see if he can hit the forehand down the line. Go for it. Make you play the least favourite shot as often as possible. Look which side of the court he's dominating from. So good. That backhand corner, whether it's hitting this inside in forehand, whether he goes inside out, he spreads the court so beautifully. And not even somebody like Novak can cover the turf.
Gritty hold from the Spaniard, just getting a sense that this is going to start moving into the most competitive passage of the match so far. Rafa getting to his chair there, just had that look in his eye that he feels as though he's starting to belong in this final. He was eclipsed in that opening set by Djokovic's standard, but starting to feel the ball the way he can. And can he mount some sort of assault on the Serbian serve? Let's get through.
15 love.
He's a master of variety on his second serve as well, Novak. Again, it's subtle, but I mean, he's just popped that in at 173. Didn't look that different to the ones that are coming in at 140.
Let's for service.
Get a little obsessed with speed sometimes, but you do have to play a certain way against certain opponents. He's dropped 10 Ks off his second serve in this match. It's given Nadal nothing to work with.
15 all.
Whereas you could argue that Rafa trying to still serve big on his second serve isn't a great ploy against somebody who returns like Novak.
He's so good at redirecting the traffic, isn't he?
Just the 1 point when he's made a first serve. 18 out of 19 for Djokovic.
It's an A grade in anyone's books, isn't it?
Djokovic defends, and he's just pressing the envelope a little bit more than normal. Rafa here goes for too much, because rarely does he miss a forehand like that when he gets into position and is set.
Game Djokovic. 2 games all.
How do you unsettle someone, Fitzy, in this kind of situation with this rhythm on serve at the moment? Rafa doesn't like to come close to the baseline. He does do it occasionally when he feels that he has to change. Do you feel it's time to try and give Novak a slightly different visual, at least, even if it doesn't actually win you the point?
Look, possibly. Yeah, he stands a long way back, doesn't he? That's his game plan. I think back there, though, the further back he goes, the shorter he drops the ball. And Djokovic is a master of taking the ball so early. So maybe he's either got to stand up a little more or just aim deeper. Not sure what else to tell him at the moment. I did see Djokovic miss a backhand in the last game, which got my attention. It's the first one I've seen so far tonight. Maybe he'll go off the boil slightly, but yet very something here, Mark.
Just a slower forehand with a bit more angle, and the pacier one. I think when you have a look at greatness in anything in life, it's always the nuances that make that person special in their sport.
Love 30.
He's not playing this match on his terms, is he, Nadal? No matter what way you look at it, he's the one that's a little rushed. He's the one that's a little off balance. He's stressed about the defensive skills of his opponent, and he's going for a little bit more than he normally would. Big part of the match here, you'd think.
15-13.
How good must that feel?
It's his first one. He needs a few more here.
that return.
Yeah, Rafa,
15,
you
14.
can see that he just punched his strings too in frustration. He can really open up the skin on the knuckles. He's got to be careful of that. That's like wire. It's like punching your knuckles into wire. No blood, thank goodness.
Djokovic who draws first blood in the second set and continues to maintain his dominance in this final. Set up, break up.
There's a lot of trouble here for Rafa, isn't there? You can feel it building.
Love 15.
Just the second point he's taken off the second serve of Djokovic, but he stepped right up on the baseline there, cut off the angles. He's got to do something to try and impact proceedings out here. That was a start. Just cannot find a sequence of points to exert any pressure on Djokovic, as we see Rafa's father.
Depth. Second backhand, I think I can remember him missing. The best time to break back is to do it in the very next game you lose your serve. Is this a mini turning point, potentially?
Let's for service.
That's just absolutely tremendous. Just oozed quality.
He has the ability to hit the ball so close to the line every time, doesn't he? And with confidence and utmost belief.
I just love the way he took the pace out of that shot. It was only about placement because he's already halfway up the court. Wonderful spin control.
Just not going to hurt him from back there. He just
40-30.
to find a way to climb onto his own baseline when he's returning at the moment.
I agree. He's too deep. I mean, I know it's his natural tendency, but it's just not. His big shots are not worrying Djokovic because they're coming from so far back.
the hook perfect there, didn't he? Look how wide he's got Novak. That's where he wants him, but he's hitting it within an inch of the line. Carlos Moya begging for more. Keep bringing it.
Because Rafa's so deep and he's going to choose one way or the other, and you see it easily in your lateral vision. He just gets set up here so early. Set up by that shot, but he's in here early. He waits till Rafa moves, goes the other way. Pretty simple by his standards.
He's given them something there. This is a real souvenir from the second set.
Thank you. Mr. Djokovic is challenging a call on the right far sideline. The ball scored out. Mr. Djokovic has two challenges remaining.
Fitzy, you spoke about playing from deep and not being effective, but for Nadal, when he's had the opportunity of being halfway up the court and he's got that short central forehand, he hasn't been effective there either.
It's just so uncharacteristic though, isn't it?
By 4 games to 2.
A couple of those as well.
And how often do we say that when someone's got a short central forehand and your life depended on it, who would you pick?
Yep.
And he's normally top of the list, isn't he?
Yeah, yep, number one.
Rafa, who's tried to punch his way through to this final with some pretty quick tennis, explosive tennis. He's only been averaging around sort of 3.5 shots a rally. Again, much has been made of that. Novak, well, he's extended this to 5 shots a rally. He prefers to play the longer game. And he won here in 2016. He almost averaged 6 shots a rally, Novak. That's where his natural habitat is.
Yeah, this defensive skill demands a perfect point from Rafa here. I mean, as good as that is, you couldn't help but notice the defensive skill more in that rally to me. The skill of Djokovic there covering the court, asking the best out of Nadal.
Thank you. Fifteen all.
I think someone yelling out there between serves, "Come on, Federer," which probably wouldn't be appreciated by both of these players. Causing the double fault, maybe. Maybe not what was said, but interruption. He's playing like a surgeon tonight. Up until now, anyway. I mean, this is a magnificent forehand.
Well, he's tennis royalty, and it's majestic, isn't it?
Let's for service.
Sending him a bit of a message here. I never thought I'd see that.
It's just dripping with quality. It is no shot that he has not hit perfectly this evening. And his linear shots in particular have been off the charts.
Djokovic leads by 5 games to 2.
Sensational. Serbian fans outside cheering their man on, as they have done over the many matches that he's played here in Australia, as he goes in search of a record 7th title. And he is some distance ahead in terms of his quality of tennis and also the scoreline right now. Outclassing, outthinking, outmoving his opponent. His illustrious opponent. Novak on the brink of going up 2 sets to love. He wants to send a racket off as well. Isn't feeling the ball as he has done so far in the tournament, but a large part of that is due to the sheer genius of the opponent he is taking on tonight. Novak has been frighteningly good.
Serving for the set with new balls as well. Well, all I can say is, Joko, this is a joke.
In your life, have you ever seen anything like it?
$30 love.
Well, if that minor lull he had in his career, where he lost a bit of motivation, where his ambition for majors just lay dormant for a while. We certainly have seen that it's been re-energized. He was in fear of being eclipsed by his great rivals. Certainly that time away from winning majors infused his competitive desires. He is unstoppable. 3-set points.
Game and second set. Djokovic.
Novak's masterpiece continues to gather pace. 2 sets still
games to 2
in the final.
Djokovic leads by 2 sets to 0.
This is pretty much where Novak's playing his tennis from, this view.
Vertigo-inducing heights, Mark.
And someone said you weren't full of hyperbole.
Build a career around it, don't believe it.
No exaggeration from Pecci. Well, it's as one-sided as I've ever seen, and 3-2, it feels almost worse than that. We're not sure what Rafa can do. Can he stand up in the court a bit closer? Can he serve a bit bigger, get a few free more points, and just hope that Djokovic drops off the pace slightly? Let's see.
Seats quickly, please, behind the blaze.
Showed us a bit of touch, a bit of guile. Just holds this open and then flicks it at the last second. He had Novak just moving to his left. Catches him.
Please.
He's made it.
That's the best shot I've seen tonight, I think.
15-all.
Wow. Everyone's starting to feel a little staggered, I think, in this stadium, how well he's playing, what elevation.
Just make sure you got a soft place for your jaw to land when you see that.
Because that was a mighty good attempt from Nadal to hit a backspinner, wasn't it? And he almost pulled it off perfectly. Still gets past.
13-15.
Djokovic is playing. There's so many drop shots in this. Why would he change a winning game so much? But this time Rafa has plenty of time. He just goes the wrong way. Cross court was the winner.
Novak in the burner right now. He's omnipresent out here.
forward finally. No hesitation here, Mark.
I mean, he had to organise his feet so quickly after the serve as well, didn't he?
Cain. Nadal.
And I just wonder what Nadal's
First game,
thinking right now. He's come
sets.
into this final with all the sort of accolades of everyone talking about this new serve and the success that he's having on it. 81% of first point. He has had over 30% chiseled out of that success rate by Novak. I mean, that has to be demoralizing, dispiriting.
You're exactly right, Mark. But again, it goes back to what we discussed at the start. It's all about the matchup. Djokovic has all the answers. He's had all the answers for a while. Remember, Rafa's only won 4 of the last 16 matches they've played across all different surfaces.
Thank you.
Loving it out here, front and center, so he should be.
Players are ready. Thank you.
And we love him.
He's not the only one in the stadium that can do anything.
Too true, Mark. I mean, he is normally so lethal when he's got time on his shots, but again, he knows with Novak he has to do a little bit more. Try and play a different pattern, use the forehand down the line. Novak just takes him out of his comfort zone once more.
Wow, he was guessing.
Unusual
30 love
against a serve of that speed to start guessing it. You see it against the massive servers and the guys that are serving 220, but his placement must be so exquisite, Djokovic, and hard to read, obviously. Nadal starting to be unsure where he's going, starting to move before he should, and again.
Gives us great insight as to how uncomfortable it is for Rafa.
He's trying to do what you say, Robbie. He's come out here and he's trying to laser a few returns, and that forehand, unfortunately, just is not firing today.
How often can we say that about Nadal?
Let's for service. Game, Djokovic.
Well, he's just off his game, and you know, I'm not sure well, I haven't seen it as
One game more.
shocking as this, really, from the... If you took away the fact that Djokovic was down the other end, you'd say he's playing poorly. But it's because he's under so much stress.
That's exactly the point, isn't it? The reason he's playing poorly is because of the guy on the other side of the court. That's why tennis is so much about matchups.
15 love.
Are you kidding me? What a return. Good night, says Novak.
And I just wonder whether this is just an inkling into, as Rafa just aggressively trying to find some fire with him, because it's been doused by the brilliance of Djokovic. I just wonder whether this serve, because he's been talking about coming further in the court, and which has helped him with his +1 shot, drive the ball deeper and wider than ever before against other opponents, lesser opponents, has actually massively hurt him tonight because of the depth on Novak's return. And he's actually felt rushed consistently. Whereas before, he'd be rolling it in, being able to back up, get into a rally. Here, he feels like he's having a swing so quickly in the point.
Excellent point, Mark.
Illustrates the gulf between these two players, and also illustrates the gulf between Novak and the rest of the field against Rafa. The middle of that rally, there was the backhand in the middle of the court, and he just stroked it back. Every other player virtually would have tried to tee off on that and think, I've got to win the point. He's happy to trade another 4 or 5 shots with him.
Panic, too true.
2 more break points. Big bash over at the MCG.
First time in a long time when Rafa's engaged in a rally from the back of the court with the opposition, I generally expect him to win the point. Tonight I don't. That surprised me. I could see Djokovic, with the short history of this match so far, you could just see him winning that point, couldn't you?
Yep.
Thank you. Please.
That's shocking in itself for me.
From Djokovic. 2 sets to love and a break. An absolute masterpiece here from Djokovic. And some of the world's greatest masterpieces, of course, have come just solely from individuals. Sistine Chapel.
Thank you.
Ceiling by Michelangelo. It was his alone. He suffered for 5 years to do that. And they don't always have to be epic, do they? A masterpiece being delivered by Novak here in Melbourne.
Nadal's hit this evening on the run. It's going over the highest part of the net here. Good pace and depth.
You just get the sense, though, that Novak just brushes that off. There's no way there's the quantity of those shots available to Nadal tonight to ruffle him. Relentless march to the title.
This would be very sobering, I think, for Rafa. Anytime you get beaten like this, and it's not over yet, but we're assuming so. If this is straight sets in this, and it finishes the way it's been going so far, gee, that could be a little mentally damaging, I think. Certainly in the matchup against Djokovic anyway for Rafa.
It is a masterclass.
14-15.
You know, I mentioned Michelangelo there. It was Da Vinci who said that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And this is, it's been simple. Patterns of play, he knows them off by heart. But it is a masterpiece in its simplicity.
Feels as though he's got his man where he wants them.
Djokovic leads by 3 games
behind the baseline. He suddenly finds a way.
I think this is the first small sign of celebration.
And he is worthy of that particular reaction as well. That was outstanding. Feels a bit like preservation of pride more than anything else right now for Nadal. Fastest serve of the tournament.
14-15.
Still got life in his arm, but finding it tough to breathe any life into this contest.
Let's for service.
Great Roy Emerson in picture. One of the greatest of all time. 12 major singles titles.
Unlikely.
Djokovic leads by 3 games.
Setting the break. 14 major titles, looking to capture his 15th, and he is very much part of the conversation in terms of can somebody surpass Roger Federer's current 20. Immense drop-off from Djokovic here in the third set. He is going to certainly get past Federer's 6 titles here in Australia, along with Roy Emerson's. That is a desperation drop shot.
Thank you. Please.
Ambitious. That last back, he tried to rifle that off on a rising delivery hit, takes off and just smashes it over the high part of the net. And then okay, he realised maybe he's gone for a little bit too much there, Joker.
Just cannot get one isolated moment to ignite some sort of inspiration here in this contest.
Well, we've all been in that position, and probably the 3 of us, if I may speak for you guys, a bit more for guys like us than most. But when you have that night, when you're just being overshadowed so much, just the other guy down the other end is belting you, and you feel like everything is going wrong, and you can't, even the easy shots sometimes you can't make. So it'd be a rare feeling for someone of the stature of Rafa Nadal. Well, first things first, you've got to keep believing you're going to break back.
Out his first opportunity to break.
Overplaying on the big points. Normally so comfortable trading blows, but felt the need to do something special early on in the point.
That point could have offered a route to salvation. It was significant.
It's the first time I've seen Novak just hesitate a little bit on that backhand down the line. I thought he had a gilt-edged opportunity to come in there. It'll be interesting if Nadal can just keep things a little close on Novak's serve as the finish line comes into sight.
His temple, as if to say, keep concentrating, be smart here. You've got the break, don't lose concentration. You can sense it now, Cain. 2 games away. Australia, a surgeon is Mr., not doctor.
Same in the UK.
Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the left centre service line. The ball scored in.
Testimony.
Mr. Djokovic has
How
2
good it's
challenges
gotta be
remaining.
if he wants to hit a winner against that guy. Concerns we're seeing with
13-15.
Directed at the forehand, you can give it pace down the middle. Always impressive out wide. Tougher serve for the lefty, that one out wide on the juice court. Going over the highest part of the net.
Come on. 14-15. Let's for service. Game Nadal.
Stars can't shine without darkness, and certainly when
Djokovic leads
plays
by 4
right now,
games to
but can he
3.
find something to be optimistic about? It's been another magnificent fortnight here in Melbourne. What a truly terrific Grand Slam this is. The benchmark, no question about it, moved here in 1988. Already that first year saw a 90% uptick in attendance. It's been just improvement after improvement.
Please.
Yeah. Congratulations to Tennis Australia on that. And so far, it's been kudos to Novak Djokovic in this final. His superiority has shone through.
This is a huge game.
Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the left far
I
sideline.
think it's wide. Fitzy.
The ball scored out.
The game before you serve for a match, that service game, I think it's the one you've got to be the most careful of. There's certain desperation when you're serving
Love
for a
fatigue.
match.
Mr. Djokovic has one
Drag you over the
challenge.
finishing line. But this one for me has always got a red flag attached to it.
It's the scarcity of the points that Rafa's taken against the serve, though, that just makes you
59.
question whether there's any real, genuine possibility.
Yeah. I'm trying to give Nadal fans something to grab onto here, Mark.
82% of first serve points won, 84% of seconds.
It's mind-boggling numbers.
30-15.
Looking to be first man in history to record 3 streaks of 3 or more consecutive Grand Slam titles as well. Novak, he's starting to separate himself historically as well from some of the game's greats. Won 3 straight titles, of course, 2011 through to 12. First man to hold all 4 Grand Slam titles since Rod Laver, who's here. Through the 16.
30 all.
And he has a winning record, let's not forget, against all of the other big 4 contenders.
Roy Emerson, Rod Laver, he's in that category now, Djokovic, isn't he? Along with Nadal, but he's in that level. What a group to be in.
Let's for service.
Of course, Rod Laver won all 4 major titles in 1 year, and he did it twice. The only man in history to do it. Sir Donald Budd's the only other man to do it in a calendar year. This man, Djokovic, held 4 consecutive titles, not in the same calendar year, though. And of course, Roy Emerson, who we saw
40-30.
is the only player in history to win all 4 major singles titles at different times, at least twice, and all 4 major doubles titles as well. He holds a special place in our history, Roy Emerson.
At least twice as well on the doubles, Fitzy. I mean, that, well, also phenomenal. That's the first time we've seen Rafa boss a point. And Novak not be able to get out of jail. Once again, taking
Thank you.
a couple of points off serve. We saw him have a break point in the previous game of Novak. He's getting close here.
Advantage Djokovic.
Thwarted again by a well-placed serve.
Expects to serve up well to the deuce court, hasn't he? Slider wide, and just when Nadal starts to sit on it, he goes big T.
unbelievable combination. A game away from his 7th Australian Open title. And he moved before Rafa even hit that forehand as well.
Well, even by Novak's
Djokovic
lofty
leads by
standards,
5 games to 3.
this has been simply stunning.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Shake of the head. It would appear no way back for Nadal.
Let's for service. Love.
Serving and volleying when somebody was turning while you're looking. It's changed in the modern game.
I looked at my shoes so long it became subconscious. But yes, this is a downer for Rafa, and what a night for Djokovic.
Let's for service.
But let's look at the positives too. I didn't think Rafa could go to the final after seeing what happened prior to the Australian Open. What an effort this is to get here. He just seems like he's been outclassed tonight.
He's playing at galactic levels. It's just run out of superlatives.
Is that the galactic of all time? Is that a new one?
Yeah, it's just incredible.
He's surpassed the GOAT discussion.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
that'll be ignited after this, won't it?
It's a memorable night here in Melbourne for Novak Djokovic, not so for Rafael Nadal, but even he will have to admit just the scintillating performance from his opponent.
Thank you. Players are ready. Thank you.
2 championship points.
Please. Please.
Second championship point.
Mr. Nadal is challenging the call on the right near sideline. The ball scored out.
With a substantial victory over one of his great rivals, and he enters the record books with a historic 7th Australian Open title.